Self-victimization. It's a tough nut to crack, but today we're going to talk about it. Welcome to my channel. My name is Jen, if you don't know me already. Let's talk about this concept of playing a victim. What is it? Well, self-victimization is defined as the fabrication or exaggeration of victimhood for a variety of reasons, such as to justify abuse of others, to manipulate others, a coping strategy, attention-seeking, or diffusion of responsibility. So those are a number of reasons, right? And, you know, it's hard because if we go through something when we're younger, say, we want to continue blaming something or somebody a lot of times. There's a lot of hidden anger often underneath this idea of playing a victim. And we go throughout our lives, and if we're not careful, we can stay in states of victimhood. Now, in this video, I'm going to give you 5 steps to help you break out of this. Just realize if you're not comfortable doing these yourself, there's no harm in asking for help, okay? That is often the first step, to reach out your hand and ask somebody for help if you feel like you need it and you can't break out of patterns. But in this video, hopefully we can help you out, give you some steps, okay? First step is asking yourself a couple questions. Do you want to change? Do you want to shift out of this state? And secondary to that, are you willing? Do you want to, and are you willing to change? Because those people who actually want to shift are going to do a lot better than people who almost get pleasure out of playing a victim. Okay, now this can go across the board for anything from very, very minor stuff to something more major trauma that you've had in your life, or abuse and things like that. It can be a very serious thing, right? But the first step is to ask yourself, do I want to change? Am I willing to take the steps necessary in order to change? That's number 1. Number 2 is to ask yourself, okay, when have I tried to change and it hasn't worked out for me? And why do I think that is? What has stopped me before? Usually we're stuck in perpetual states of patterns. Our life goes through cycles. Our brain kind of goes on a loop, right? And it gets used to something. So in life, we tend to repeat these particular patterns unless we change something, unless we do something about it, unless we stop ourselves and ask ourselves some questions like, okay, what's stopping me? If we allow ourselves to just go through life, just coasting along in this state, then we can't expect ourselves to easily snap out of it. It's going to take some work, especially the longer we go through patterns over and over and over again. Ever since maybe we were a kid or teenager or something like that, it may take longer to shift because our brain is so used to it. Number 3 is, what kind of secondary gain are you getting out of self-victimization, being a victim? Okay, are you getting attention from family, from friends, from spouse, from kids? Is your ego competing with somebody? Maybe you want to show somebody that you have it worse or something like that. So sometimes it could be twisted, right? But we have to kind of understand ourselves and understand our ego and understand where we're coming from, or what we are actually getting. What is the pleasure or the benefit that we are getting out of remaining in this state? A lot of times it's comfort, it's safety. We don't want to break out because it's scary. It's all we know. And in other ways, it's giving us attention. It's giving us comfort, right? Not only is it comfortable for us to stay in a state where we've always been, it's comfortable for us to know that other people will give us that validation, will give us that acknowledgement. We're afraid that if we don't stay in this state, that we're not going to get that. We're going to be unloved. We fear of being alone. So there's a lot of things underneath it, not only hidden anger, because usually being in a state of self-victimization, we're blaming someone or something that caused this, and we're kind of stuck in that loop. But it's also about, you know, who or what is giving us that thing that we feel like we're missing in life. Number 4 is to actually thank your self-victimization for giving you what you needed at that particular time. Thank it for serving out its presidency and now its term is over. Now you can recalibrate your life. But you have to want to, you have to be willing to do that. So you can ask yourself, what is one simple step that I can take today? One simple thing that I can do today to help myself? A lot of times we get caught in our head and the truth can be overwhelming, or it can be hard to delve inside our emotions. But it's about not fighting against what you're feeling, but allowing yourself to feel certain things and recalibrating or reframing or shifting yourself to something not from here all the way to up here, but from here maybe to here, and taking baby steps along the way, and practice and consistency will help in the long run. So thank your playing the victim, your self-victimization, for serving its country, and now it's time for you to move on. Okay, so it's about shifting how you think about it. Don't think that you're going to be, just because you've been stuck this way for 20 years, you're going to be stuck for another lifetime, okay? So what I mean by shifting your thoughts, so if you're in a place of, say, hopelessness is like at the bottom tier here. If you can move up to a place to maybe anger, okay? So if you're sitting in lower emotional states like guilt and hopelessness, even jealousy, anger, these all have different frequencies to them, okay? They're gonna allow your body to, they have different energetic components to them. So for example, anger is going to have a little more energy and oomph behind it than something like hopelessness and severe depression. So if you can move to a place where you're angry, you feel that rush, there's more energy behind it, therefore it's easier to move up and keep moving up than if you're all the way rock bottom here. So it's not about fighting with your emotions and saying, I don't want to feel this way anymore, right? We get angry at ourselves, but use that anger to propel you, okay? It's about allowing yourself to feel new emotions, new feelings. Now, it's going to be difficult to do this because if we've been stuck in a state of like, I don't know, blame or guilt or whatever it is for so long, that is our comfort level. That is like our big cushy couch. So to go out of that, to say, well, if I'm poor, I like to feel happy if I feel poor. Like our brain doesn't comprehend that, right? Or if I've been abused, like to feel happy or optimistic about it, it feels crazy. It feels so completely out of our comfort zone. So that's what I mean by shifting just a little bit, getting to a place. So it's going to feel uncomfortable because if you've been sitting with emotions, that is your safety blanket. That is the Linus blanket that you sleep with every night. That is where you feel comfort, safe, okay? So it's about allowing yourself to feel new emotions, new feelings, recognizing that nothing's going to happen if you raise yourself a little bit higher. Your brain is going to tell you, oh my God, danger zone, red flag here, red flag there, red flag all over the place. Because we're not used to it. It's protecting you. Your body is protecting you. Your brain is protecting you, always. But if you can open that doorway to other possibilities for yourself, and you can dip your toe into the clearer waters, it's going to create a ripple effect in your life, and it's going to affect everything, okay? But you have to make that, it's not a jump, because sometimes we think, oh, I need to get from here to here. Again, no, it's about going from here to here. Baby steps, right? So if you can dip your toe in instead of diving head first, then it's going to help you out. So step number 5, like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, if you find you're having so much trouble trying to break out of these patterns yourself, you've tried all the techniques, you've tried shifting yourself, just realize that you can always ask for help. Reaching out your hand is often the first step that people need to take in order to break out of a mode. So if they can't do it themselves, or they're uncomfortable, or they're scared, then there is no shame in asking for help from somebody who maybe specializes in it, and talking to somebody and having a support system around you. So if you feel this way, please reach out to me. I know plenty of colleagues who can help you out, who specialize in this type of thing. Please don't be shy. This is your life. You have a whole life to live. I don't want you to stay in this state, and you will not stay in this state forever as long as you are wanting and willing to shift. So on that note, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know in the comments below. Subscribe. I put out new videos every single week for you. And other than that, have a great day and peace.